my thing was like, I want a Corvette. I was like, I want the Corvette, I want the Escalade, I want something, that's nice, luxury for myself. But it's more of like, it's either buy the Corvette, buy the Escalade, and I'm stuck at this 9 to 5 plus real estate to kind of like keep up with those payments.
Yeah.
Or I buy the house, I leave my 9 to 5, and I push this career up.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Justin Rodriguez, your favorite lender here at Neighborhood Loans, and we're back with another episode of Cafecito Talks. We're super excited for this episode. This kid embodies, not when you say kid, he's a grown-ass man, it embodies everything that I have gotten into my journey when I first started the whole real estate journey. It's kind of like weird how our timelines are like exactly the same. And I'm super proud of what he's been able to accomplish in the real estate industry, because not a lot of people do it in this short period of time. And this episode should be for everybody that's watching, inspire every single body that if he's able to accomplish it, if I'm able to accomplish it, anybody's able to accomplish it. So today, take your notepads out, make sure you drink a lot of Cafecito and take notes on what he's about to bring. So thank you so much for joining, bro. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Justin. I appreciate you having me here, man.
Of course, man. You want to introduce yourself, kind of get a background on who you are and what you've accomplished, bro. You accomplished a lot, man.
So, my name is George Villegas. I'm a real estate agent. I'm 22 years old. I got into the industry at 19. A little bit by myself. I just went full-time agent in November of last year. I went NARUP top 25 in the country. Just had my biggest month last month. I closed about 10 deals, so it's been good.
Fuck, dude, 10 deals in one fucking month, dude.
10 deals.
That's crazy, bro. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, if first off, how old are you?
22.
Everyone needs to know that. I think that's important for everybody to know, because when you first get in the industry, like the first thing I always remember, like when I first got in, I was interning, everyone always tells you it takes 5 years to establish and become a top producer, right? Like that was the biggest thing, that the message that everyone kind of portrayed. And one thing when I see you and your journey, bro, is like, dude, you're shattering all that shit, bro. Like to get 10 deals in 1 month is should be very proud of yourself. But give us a little background on the journey, how you got to the place that where you're at. Obviously, you were a couple different careers, couple different jobs that got you to where you're at. So how did it build up to the business that you built right now?
So honestly, my background doesn't really align to what I'm doing now. I started working at the age of 14, warehouses, pretty much anything that I could find at 14. They won't hire any 14-year-old, right? So whatever I found out there, my cousin, my friend, hey, you want to do this weekend? Go work for me. Let's do it. So I did that for about a year, 2 years, bounced around job from 14 to like 16. Then after that, I actually started working at McDonald's, right? Yeah. So that was another background that I have. McDonald's, I became a manager like at 16 as well. So like one of the youngest dope, McDonald's managers also. So it's, it's pretty funny, but that doesn't even align with real estate either. Then from there, I started working at a hospital. I went to college for about a month. Wasn't working out.
Yeah.
Didn't work out actually. So I was like, let's go. Let's drop out. And then I started working at a mechanic shop. So I was there for about 3 years. That's the longest that I've worked at a place for, 3 years. But once again, doesn't align with real estate, right? So what really got me into real estate more than anything, I feel like, was that mentality of investing and helping my community out, right? I mean, I saw my parents lose their house in 2008 when the whole recession happened. I remember that at that time, my parents didn't tell me, hey, we're losing the house. I remember we were just moving out.
Yeah.
Like, my parents were like, hey, we have to go. We're buying another house. Like, we lost that one. My parents, like, just let the house get lost. And they bought another one, right? So when I saw that when my parents bought that other house and they rehabbed it, they did their thing to it. We lived there for a couple of years. I saw the amount of money that they bought it for and the amount that they sold it for. Yeah, and I was like, this is crazy. I was like, okay, like if I can do this at least once or twice, like this is good. More than anything, also like on the first transaction that my parents did with the previous agent, it wasn't the best. And my parents were like, I don't like this. And this agent passed away, so sorry for him.
Yeah.
But they didn't have the best experience with that agent, so they weren't guided properly. I kind of like, now that they told me the stories and now that I'm in the industry, I know they weren't guided properly. And I know that agent kind of took advantage of them in that aspect. So I was like, you know what, like let's do this. Let's do real estate. My parents' previous agent, which is amazing, Karen, shout out to you. Yeah. She actually helped them sell our previous multi-unit and then buy my parents' single family, right? Smooth process. My parents love her till this day, even though I'm an agent. Now they're choosing me, Karen. Sorry. But, other than that, I saw she kind of motivated me. She kind of pushed me to, hey, like, do real estate. She would always tell me every time that I would see her, hey, what do you want to do? I was like, I want to do truck driving. I want to do something in the trade. And she always pushed for me to be a real estate agent. So I feel like just kind of like sitting down with her and kind of her explaining to me how everything worked kind of pushed me to do real estate.
That's dope, bro. And I think that it's cool to kind of see your whole journey like progress over time, because when you really take a look at everything, you learn work ethic really young. Like at 14 years old, bro, like to be working the jobs that you work, like it's dope. And I like to compare my life with other people just to kind of see the correlation for other people can kind of like understand where everything came from. And I can only compare it to myself because I played baseball. I played baseball in college, and that was like my job, right? Like I always had to go every single day, training, all the stuff. And it gets you into a mental space where you're like, all right, I'm going to go and get it every single day. I'm going to work as hard as I possibly can. And obviously you had school as well on the side, working both. Yours is a little bit different though, but mine was like a training like regimen, like every single day I had to do this.
Yeah.
Yours was like a grind up until 14 to 22, and that's dope. Like I think a lot of individuals kind of got to see that you don't have to figure it out all at once. Like it all it really is follow the path that you're learning and find each job that you like and figure out whether or not you like it or not. And if you don't like it, then continue to meet other individuals in spaces that you might be interested in. And you're one connection away from finding your career job.
That's right.
And you found one agent, and now all of a sudden this job is something that's opening up other doors, where it could be that you just be a top producing agent, you build a team, you expand it, or you're a top producing agent plus you're doing investments, plus you're doing this. But it's all from one connection, right? And it's really cool to see that you've been able to build everything that you've built all from pretty much just grinding it out each and every single day. And I feel like a lot of people that are young, they automatically assume it's like you're kind of born like that. Oh, all of a sudden you're a top producer, and they didn't see the grind that it took for you to be right. Like it took a long time for you to be able from 14 to now at finally at the age that you're at right now to accomplish everything you accomplished, making the money that you're making. What do you think was like your turning point in your entire career and everything that you've done? Where you're like, all right, this can be a long-term career for me. When do you feel like that was something that you felt?
It's actually happened exactly a year ago.
A year ago?
A year ago today, September, I had my biggest month then. I had closed 6 deals that same month, and that same month I bought my multi-unit.
Ah, nice.
So
okay,
around that time, I was like, I was working my mechanic job, right? So I needed my W-2 pay stubs. I needed all that to buy the multi-unit. So I was like, you know what? I have to stay here so I can buy a multi-unit.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, my go-to from leaving my 9 to 5 was buying my multi-unit, because without my W-2s, my tax forms, there's no money, there's nothing to be able to buy.
On the bank side, you ain't make no money.
You're not making any money. So literally a year ago today, I was like, I closed on my property, I think the 4th or the 3rd of September, multi-unit. As soon as I bought that property, I started running numbers around, hey, how much I'm gonna do for a rehab, how much I'm gonna have to pay my monthly mortgage, all that stuff. I crunched on the numbers, and within a month, I left my job. So the reason why that was like, hey, like this is, like you have to leave this job, it was more of, okay, you bought what you wanted, it was a multi-unit to be able to leave your 9 to 5. I bought something that's going to go up in value. Yeah. I didn't buy anything, my thing was like, I want a Corvette. I was like, I want the Corvette, I want the Escalade, I want something, that's nice, luxury for myself, but it's more of like, it's either buy the Corvette, buy the Escalade, and I'm stuck at this 9 to 5 plus real estate to kind of like keep up with those payments. Yeah. Or I buy the house, I leave my 9 to 5, and I push this career up.
Right.
So leaving my 9 to 5, well, I think that switch point to me, like doing full-time real estate and kind of like flipping the switch, was buying the multi-unit, and just saving money.
Yeah.
Like something that I don't tell a lot of people, and I'll tell this in this podcast, is my 9 to 5 money was my going out money, my pay the bills. It got everything done. My real estate money from from the first deal to that September, I didn't touch a single dollar.
Nice.
So I saved every single real estate dollar to be able to buy that multi-unit, to be able to have those savings, for me to give myself the luxury of, okay, I'm going to leave my 9 to 5. I have some money saved up, so if I don't close any deals, I have something to like back it up.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people, and I've talked to a lot of agents that they're part-time, they don't leave their 9 to 5s because they're like, oh, I don't have money. And, it's understandable. Everybody has a different scenario. 100%. Like, everybody has different, but I told myself, I was like, if I've been doing this for 2 years, this mechanic job, and I've been saving those little pennies, those dollars from that job, and it's been giving me a okay life, then why grab extra money from my real estate money and get myself a better life? Let's settle down. Let's keep up with what I have, and then just save that money. So
I could truly say, bro, that's probably the best thing I've ever heard ever, bro. Because it's crazy how similar our stories are. Because same thing. Like mine's a little bit different because I wanted to buy a condo first. I was like, I swear to God, bro, I was about this close putting an offer on a condo, and I saw it. And I showed my uncle because my uncle's my mentor. I always, every single time, he's the area manager of this company. He's the one who got me into the business. So your uncle, okay. So I'll never forget this. I went and I saw this condo. It was a nice condo. I'm like, okay, rates were super low at the time. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a great buy. I bought a condo, boom, and then we lived there. My uncle looked at it. And he said, if you submit this loan, I'm denying it automatically. I don't care what you do, you're not buying a condo. I said, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, dude, like, this is what I want. Like, what do you mean I'm going to deny my loan? Like, what the fuck? And he's like, no, your first purchase should be a multi-unit building. And I'm like, yeah, but like, this condo's raw though. Like, I want the condo, Like,
it's comfortable. It's nice.
It's nice.
It's for myself.
I know. And so he's like, no, you're gonna buy a building. So then I started like, okay, started running numbers, started looking at buildings, started looking at see how I can make it work. And eventually, very similar, bro. I mean, I was a little bit different. I wasn't working a different job. Like, this was all I was doing. I was just doing straight up loans. I was in college, and then I started writing loans in college, but I was kind of helping around with as like a processor type of thing, like help collecting docs and stuff for clients. And when I first bought my first building, though, it was the same thing. Like, anytime I wrote a loan, like, I was with my parents at the time, bro. So it was like, okay, whatever check I got, I'll just put in the savings and see it, right? And eventually you got to a point, you buy the building, and now I bought a single family house, and it's the best decision I ever made. Like, it's self-sufficient, it pays for itself, like, it cash flows every single month. And that was the one thing that I tell people is like, don't recreate the wheel, right? If you have a mentor, if you have an individual that might be more successful, then you talk to them, have a conversation with them. If you figure out, like, your parents have done it successfully a couple of times, they bought a building, they sold it, they bought a single family home, they renovated a property, that's a good place to start.
Right.
You got a lot of people in your office that you can have a conversation with, and I'm sure owns a bunch of real estate that can kind of give you the guidance that you might be looking for. And a lot of people are intimidated by that. They're scared to ask the right questions and figure it out. And you found out before anything else, like, it's not hard. In order for you to, like, really fund the dream that you really have, it takes discipline.
Yeah.
Right? At our age, everyone wants to party. Don't get me wrong. I want to have a good time, bro. Like, I'm trying to party too, you know? Right. But at the end of the day, it takes that sacrifice and discipline for you to be like, all right, this is my play money, this is my bills, this is this, but every single transaction I have is going to go towards my savings, right, for my future. So it's great to hear that you developed that. Did you learn that? Was that something that you already, was it YouTube, was it family, was it just like yourself, like you just...
So more than anything, obviously, working at the age of 14, you're going to high school, everybody has the brand new shoes, brand new, all that stuff. I was like more of the laid back kid. I was like, yeah, new shoes, whatever, it's cool. But every check that I would get, I would always split it. Half savings, half to waste. Because, I'm 14, like, I was to a point where, like, man, like, I want the brand new Jordans, and I want the Yeezys, and I want this and that. But I was more on the, not flashy, let's lay back a little bit, let's save some extra bucks, we'll see where we're at. And I learned this from my dad, actually. Yeah. My dad has always been the type of guy to put everything on savings. So I guess growing up and seeing my dad always have money on his savings, like, he always has, this is for this is for that. This is my play money, like you said. It's always like growing up, seeing my dad doing that for so many years was like, okay, well, if he's doing it, I can do it. Right. So I think my role on that was seeing my dad do that for so many years. Till this day, he does it. Till this day, I'm like, well, now I'm here, you're there, So it's more of like seeing my dad like kind of do that, kind of like just made me do it. Not made me, but like you said, he's my mentor. Kind of like seeing him just do that, I was like, hey, let's do it. I could do it.
Right. And it's dope to say, bro. I mean, you're 22 years old. You're a top producing agent. You have a building. When you were like kind of on the grind and you were growing your career, did you feel as if, like, did you kind of envision this life, or was it something? How did it kind of transpire? Like, did you manifest, like, write down things that you want to do, or?
So it was funny, right? Because when I went full time in September, from November to March, I closed 0 deals. Mm-hmm. So that extra money that I had saved kind of kept me off for those 6 months that I didn't close any deals, right? And I was this close on the verge of March of this year to just, let's go. Like, I'm out of the industry. I'm not closing anything. I don't have anything to go. And I was ready to leave. But we're here now. So, I mean, I didn't I think I mean I honestly, like, when I went full time, I didn't see myself where I'm at now.
Yeah.
I didn't see this career. I didn't see everything that I'm doing. I mean, I envisioned it. I mean, I always dreamed of it, right? But it was never of like, I mean, I'm proud of myself, honestly, because it was like I went full time and I was just like, yeah, if I can close 2-3 deals a month, I'll be smooth. I'll be fine.
Right.
I can live. I can do a little bit extra of my life. But now that I'm scaling. Like every month is like 4 or 5, then 6, then 7, then last month 10. So it's more of like, did I see that for myself? No. Did I wish for it? Yes. But I honestly didn't think I was going to get to where I'm at now.
Right. And I think that the main thing that I want everyone to kind of understand is that even though you didn't imagine it, at the same time, like, you already had the work ethic for it. And one thing I learned is, bro, if you're disciplined in this industry, the results will come. Yes. Like, at the end of the day, if you show up every single day, a lot of people don't treat this job like a 9 to 5. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that individuals should at least put that and incorporate that in your business. I don't care if you're sitting there twiddling your thumb from fucking 9 to 5. Like, it don't matter, bro. Like, right. As long as you're in the office and you're surrounded by individuals that are working, you're gonna work. Right. Like, that's just in that. If you have the right crew, if you have the right people that are around you, you're naturally gonna work and pick up things to do.
Right.
And a lot of people don't treat it like a 9 to 5. And again, you've had the self-discipline for a majority of your life that you knew you had to work for an extended period of time. Yeah. So like, this is natural to you. Like, it's not even a choice. So, I mean, if you had to give a young individual that's like trying to figure out their career, their steps, whether it be real estate or just entrepreneurship overall, like, based on your journey, what advice would you give an individual that's really trying to start their own business?
That's tough. But I say, sit back and think long term. Think where you want to be in maybe 5-10 years. What kind of life you want. For me, my life that I want is I want to be financial free, by the age of 30.
That's dope.
The sooner the better, right? Yeah. 30 is a goal. So I kind of want to, like, advice that I'll give everybody that wants to do something within their lives is just show up every day. Yeah. That's what you have to do. Show up every day. You don't have to be the smartest person. You don't have to know everybody in the world. You don't have to have the best connections. But if you show up every day for yourself, you'll make it somewhere.
No, 100%.
You'll be successful somewhere.
One thing that my mentor always told me is if you surround yourself with the right people, you don't need to be the smartest person in the room. No. As long as you surround yourself with individuals who have done it time and time again, because it's one thing if you're a top producer for 1 year, but if you do 2, 3, 4, 5 years in a row, like, that shows. Yeah, you're figuring it out. Like, you figured something out that's right that allows you to do it in an extended period of time. And I can see you got it, bro. I don't think a lot of individuals. It's the one thing about this industry is that, respect is earned, right?
Yeah.
One thing about that real estate is your respect is simply earned by the hard work that you do on a daily basis. But one thing about respect is that it can be taken away in a split second, like instantly, right? Yes. It leaves quicker than the way that you earned it. And one of the main things that I've told people is that throughout the journey, like, I see there's a book called Ego's Enemy. And the one thing that the book really does speak about is that the biggest people almost think that they're too big to fail, and that's when they fail, right? Okay. So you want to really look into your journey and never forget the moments that you worked at McDonald's. Never forget the moments that you were working at the mechanic shop. Never forget the moments you were in college and you hated that shit, because ultimately you can go right back there if you allow your ego to be bigger than what your overall purpose and journey is. And I think from what I saw, you have a good foundation with you, and I want young individuals to kind of like take what you're taking in and really try to spread it out to everybody else, because I truly think I'm not better than anybody else, right? Like, I don't really think that I've done something crazy and I'm better than anybody. I just think that I had a good mentor and I showed up every single day, and I think same thing for you, yes. Like you
showed up every day, because like you said, like, I'm not better than anybody. I'm not the smartest, but it's just showing up every day made us be here.
No, 100%. 100%. Now, obviously you talked a little bit about your future and you kind of look into the future. Where do you see yourself in the next 5-10 years? Like, do you feel like real estate's going to be your number one sole job? Do you feel like you want to spread out more into the real estate investing? What does your 5 to 10 year plan look like?
Honestly, for 5 to 10 years, obviously still be in the industry, still be a top producer, have a team. Mm-hmm. So my goal from here for 5 to 10 years, maybe in the next few years, start building a team. obviously buy more buildings to go next year to buy 2 buildings.
Okay,
So
nice.
this year didn't buy anything because of tax purposes.
Yeah.
But next year, hopefully, the goal is to buy 2 more units, 2 more multis. And then after that, buy a single family. Then after that, it's just start straight flipping.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna start flipping. You know, I like you said, you surround yourself with people. I surround myself with some investors that flip, and they tell me, hey, you know, buy this, don't buy here, buy here. They kind of tell me what to look for, what not to look for. They give me the numbers, and it's like, wow, like it could be done, right? So you kind of hearing those conversations, seeing people do it, especially my age. Some people doing it, it's like it's amazing.
Yeah.
So I think the goal in 5 to 10 years is just having, like, the way I see it for having multi units is a foundation. It's just money coming in, profiting that extra little $1,000 from the multi units, and then from there just start flipping.
100%. And I think that's the like, even me, bro, like flipping sounds raw, and it's just, but it's scary.
It's scary.
Shit. Yeah,
it's scary because
scary
it's like,
shit, you know,
like,
your money's locked, like, but I've seen too many people, bro. Like I was telling you, like my boy, he's a contractor, Mr. Home. Like he does this shit all the time. Like he talks about it. It's like, oh, you put $100 grand here, you do this, da da da. Wait, you make $100 grand. Like what the fuck? Like how did you get there? Like what? Right.
Right.
But that being said, I think that, like you say, if you surround yourself with the right individuals, you continue to meet people. Ultimately, it's almost really hard for you to fail because these people have done it so much. It's almost like an individual coming to you to buy a house.
Right.
Right. For me, it's like, yeah, no, it's easy. You do this, and you know, then it's done, and then you close, and you're done.
Right.
And that's how people who are flipping are doing it. Oh no, you just pull permits, you do this, you do that, and you're done.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and it's a system and a process that you put in place in order for you to do it. And if you run the numbers right, it should theoretically work.
Yeah.
But in your case, I want to dive deeper in your mindset. I think one thing I've really found out about individuals that are hungry, that continue to grind, is there's something that kind of changed in their life that made them, you know, who they are and really continue to drive themselves. So for you, do you think that there was like a moment or something in your mind that continues to wake you up every single day to, you know, make you keep moving forward?
Honestly, my family, my girlfriend, just waking up every day is more of like, obviously I'm doing this for myself, but I'm doing it for the people that I love, right? So I feel like my drive, my why every day is my family, and then my girlfriend, my friends, family. But more than anything, I think it's just me, I guess, wanting to prove myself in a way. Like, I feel like I want to prove myself that I can do this, that I can get stuff done, that age is just a number more than anything. Because I feel like a lot of people are scared to dive into this industry. Obviously, the age, you know, they're like, oh, you know, who's going to trust this kid?
Yeah.
Who's going to trust a kid with the house? But I feel like you just have to throw yourself out there. Just do it, and then just get it done.
100%.
I think what keeps me up every day, what keeps me going every day, and it's that discipline that it's like, you know, George, you have to get up, you have to do this, you have to go through the full day of real estate, full day of, you know, helping people. It's more of anything just family.
Yeah, 100%. So I think one thing you just said was prove it to yourself. And I think a lot of people at our age can truthfully say that, like, it's really hard to find yourself. You know, it's really hard to believe in the shit that you say. Because when I first got in the industry, I'm like, I'm going to produce 10 million. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And, like, you know, I was blessed. I had my girl that she believed in the shit that I was saying. I didn't believe in the shit I was saying. I was just saying it because I thought, like, you know, I was like, okay, hopefully I could do it. But in my head, I was like, hopefully I was saying it, but I don't know if I could do it. And, you know, but I do think that in the journey, it takes a little bit of time for you to really start believing the things that you're actually saying, because you're saying it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you actually 100% know what's going to happen. And eventually those two things line up. And you start, hey, I'm going to produce 10 million. But, like, in your mind, you're actually like, no, I'm actually going to fucking do it because I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to do this, da-da-da-da-da-da. So when I really wanted to kind of see a little bit, like, was there a turning point where you kind of, or are you still trying to find yourself? Are you still trying to mentally get to the point where you're like, all right, my words mean my actions? Is that something that, being at the age you're at, are you still trying to cope with that? Or is that fuck it, you're already there?
Nah, that's every day. I'm still in my head about it every day. You know, like, my goal this year when I went full-time in September of last year was like, okay, from January to December, I have to close 30 families, no matter what, 30 families. Yeah. But I was like, my girlfriend would be like, yeah, you got it. Like, you'll do it. In my head, I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. But by March, I had 0. So I was like, oh, yeah, I'm doing it. I'll do it.
You're like, fuck, I got to get to work.
Damn, like, 30. I'm like, damn, I have like 9 months. I'm like, damn, all right, cool. I have 9 months to do it. Like, she would always say, yeah, you got it. Like, you'll get it done. In my head, I was like, yeah, I'll get it done. But I was like, more of like you said, like, yeah, I'll get it done, bro. I was not confident that I'll get it done. You know, thankfully now, you know, September, I'm at 30 families. So
congrats,
thank
bro.
God.
Congrats.
Thankfully, I'm there. But like you said, it's just I'm there every day. Every day I want to be better than I was yesterday. That's an everyday mindset that I have. If I wake up today, I want to be better than I did yesterday. I want to be a better person. I want to do better for myself. I want to do more things. I want to succeed more. So that doesn't stop, honestly. It's an everyday thing that I wake up and I'm like, okay, yesterday I did this. Today I'm doing this. So I want to scale myself every day.
Yeah.
Not just in this business, but on a personal level as well. Just be a better person.
And I think all the people out there want to know the secret sauce, bro. 22 multi-unit top producer. What do you think is the biggest driver and indicator of what you've done? Like, is it on the real estate side for being a top producer? Is there something specific that you get to get business? And then obviously with the whole real estate side, like, is it really hard at the age of 22 to do what you do? Is it impossible? A lot of people probably thinking like, hey, I'm 22, like I'm trying to party right now. I got time to go buy some units. But do you think both sides, like, how do you get business? And number two, is it impossible for a young individual to invest?
How to get business? Honestly, it's not. Yeah, when I got into this industry at 19, I was just like, man, like, who's gonna trust this little kid? I look like a little kid. Well, I probably still do. It was more of like, okay, like, who's gonna trust me, right? But I think just being self-confidence. When you show up to meet a client, when the client comes to your office and shows up, just be confident. Have that extra push. I put in my head. I was like, and I always tell myself this: if I can get the client to like me, they're gonna work with me. Yeah. No matter my age, no matter how I look, no matter whatever I do, if they like me, if I can make them to like me for whatever reason, I think I have a good thing to move forward, right? But it's definitely scary. Obviously, like nowadays, real estate agents, and that's in every industry, there's seasoned agents that have been in the industry for like 20, 25 years, and they have the knowledge, they have the background, they have the connections, they have everything else, right? But I think what sets us aside from there is that we're hungry.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. I'm young, but I want to get everything done the right way.
Yeah.
So I feel like that pushes me every day to do it. The way I generate my leads, my families, it's just sphere of influence, family, friends. One tip that I would give to everybody is post on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
That's the secret sauce.
Yeah.
Marketplace is where they come in, and those are the toughest though.
Yeah.
Why? Because they're strangers.
Yeah.
They definitely look at your profile before they even
100%.
want to meet with you, before they even give you their phone number. So just make sure your social media is on point, and I think you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so for when you're talking to your family and friends about investing in real estate, obviously you did a 22, and how's that been going? Has the building been going well?
It's good.
Yeah.
Smooth so far, and everything's been on time. Tenants thankfully have been paying everything on time. So no complaints there.
That's what I'm saying. I think that, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I'm sure like you own a house probably for 30 years. Some shit's gonna happen.
Yeah,
like it's just inevitable. Like if you have a perfect run for 30 years, then great. Congrats, bro.
Next time, tell me how you found the house, man.
For real.
Yeah.
But that being said, I think that I did want one thing I want for everybody to kind of listen about this podcast is that you got two individuals that are in their 20s. We both bought buildings, and it's something that not a lot of people talk about, right? No one talks about credit. No one talks about financial literacy. No one talks about buying a building. And we're two individuals that really zoned in on the things that we wanted, and we got it, right? Like sometimes you have to sacrifice a little bit of partying. You might have to sacrifice a little bit of things to be able to obtain the goals that you want. But one thing I want to point out to every single person that's watching is that if we are able to do it, you guys can too. At the end of the day, it's not impossible to go ahead and invest in real estate. It's not impossible to just invest, period. It's not impossible to start an entrepreneurship career or goals or start your own business. At the end of the day, we're two individuals that are successful in the industry, and that's why the main reason why this podcast was to incite just true education and then at the same time inspire everybody that we're individuals that have been able to accomplish the things we accomplished, and so can you. And, I really wanted to bring you onto the podcast, bro, because, you think about it, like every goal that you've set so far, 30 transactions, buy a multi-unit at a certain age, do the things you want, you've been able to accomplish it. And I just think it really is as simple as showing up every single day,
simple.
Trying to get 1% better, try to get a little bit better each and every single day. And as long as you show up, the proof is in the pudding. Like everything will pan out.
Yeah, everything will align.
But if you had to like just forecast, I know you talked about being financially free and you had to think about your future, right? What would you say is is something that you want to accomplish to make yourself financially free? Is there a certain number of buildings? Is there a certain number of production that you want to do in your career? Like, what is it that you feel as if will make you financially free?
Honestly, I think eventually it would be to have 5 buildings.
5 buildings?
5 buildings, roughly around 15 to like 20 doors, roughly. And just have a real estate team, you know, and to the aspect where like I can mentor them, I can help them, and I'm right there with them. But if I don't want to show up today, I don't have to show up today.
Yeah.
That's my goal, financially free, right? If I want to wake up today and go on a run, go get coffee with my girl, go walk the dog, go do whatever I want to do, that's to me that's financial free.
Right.
So
right.
it's not really about the money. It's just more of like, if I can wake up tomorrow and, you know what, like I don't want to do much, but just, hey, like I need help with this, or hey, like can you help me, you know, do this with this transaction, by all means. That's the way I see it. Yeah. It's not really more about the money. It's more of like I can wake up and do whatever I want to do.
Right. I could tell you, my uncle for a while, you know, I always wanted that too, right? Like everybody wants that in real estate, and the more you build your sphere and business, like it is a little bit harder to, even though you can. Like when you build a team, it's easy for you to be like, all right, delegate it, but the business is still your baby, so it's like harder for you to be like, all right, you know, like,
no, I've seen it. Yeah, it's tough.
You know, that's the part that like I'm gonna have to learn. I mean, right now I'm happy. I love my job. Like my family, everyone's super supportive. So for me, it's like it doesn't feel like work to me. So I don't have that pressure. But I do see that, like I always said from the beginning of time, I want to be financially free. And like you said, for me, financially free is that not having the ability to work. If I work, it's because I choose to work.
Exactly.
And that's something that I really do want, you know, to in the future. But I can honestly say that when my uncle first was telling me about like building a team and everything, bro, it was tough, because I was closing transactions, and you get to a certain point where you see the one thing that's a blessing about social media is that you have the ability to see what other individuals are doing, which can be very motivating. But at the same time, like you also see individuals who have a team, and you're like, fuck, that means I got to get an assistant. I got to get this. I got to get that. Like, how are they doing? How did they get this? And that was, for me, was like, okay, clear indication. I need an assistant. I need this. And he always told me, he's like, relax. Like, you don't need it. You're fine. You know, it's called the rubber band effect. Like, the more you stretch yourself, once you get an individual, it's going to release. You release the rubber band, and then all of a sudden you have more time for yourself to be able to generate more business. And I'm telling you right now, if you get an assistant right now, it's going to probably make you a little bit more relaxed, and it's not going to help you excel your business. So I was like, man, bro, I need a fucking assistant, bro. Like, come on. But eventually, like, yeah, he waited, and finally I was like, bro, I think at this time I found out I was having a daughter. I was like, all right, nah, it's time, bro. I don't give a shit what anything you're saying about rubber bands, none of that shit. I need an assistant. And eventually, when I got my first assistant, it was the best thing that ever happened. Like he said, it did. It released a lot of pressure. It's been able to grow, and progressively as I've added team members, you know, I could tell you straight up, you know, it's a little bit different, because now you have people and individuals that are, not only do you have your family depending on you, have your team members depending on you. Yeah. So it gives you a different level of fucking hunger. You're like, bro, I gotta feed not only my family, but now my team members. Right. I gotta make sure they have a job tomorrow. You know, so I gotta get up and do what you gotta do. Make sure you gotta do what you gotta do. So I want to give you, though, you're 100% going to get there. If you continue, the trajectory's there, bro. If you continue to do the things that you're doing, there's your first full-time year and you're closing 30 transactions. Like, the sky's the fucking limit, bro. By the time you're 30 years old, this shit should be an extended and great career for you. And the thing I could tell you is keep spreading your message, bro. Keep spreading your story. Everyone wants to hear success stories, because at the end of the day, not everybody is successful in their career. I've heard countless numbers of people who have tried to get into this career and didn't make it, not because they might not have put in the work. I just don't think that they had the right mentorship. I don't think that they had the right people around them. And unfortunately, it might have led them to a different path than other people. But thankfully, you got the right mentorship from your family, from the people that you surrounded yourself with, the people that you love, and you're in the position that you're in right now. So only thing I could tell you is, bro, is keep mentoring people, keep doing the things that you're doing, and the career is just gonna naturally play itself out to a very successful one. So I always tell people this question. This is the final question I usually ask people. So if you had to talk to the younger version of yourself, 14-year-old you, McDonald's or wherever you were working at that time, what would be the biggest piece of advice you'd give them?
Keep going, keep showing up, keep doing it.
I love that shit, bro. I love it. Well, thank you so much for your time today, bro. You've definitely inspired me. So I know other individuals that watch are probably going to be inspired as well. So thank you so much for your time today. Everybody that's watching, if you have not already, took some notes on this episode number 1. You should have been doing that already. Like, subscribe, turn on your post notifications. Please make sure to do so today. And I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Appreciate it. And make sure you get your cafecito.